So Matt, interest rates, when does that interest rate matter in this market?
Yesterday, I got a call from a lovely buyer, first time home buyer. She's doing all her homework and she's just inquiring, asking as many questions as she can, trying to get as prepared as she can. So it's really great. But her first question was, "What's my interest rate? What's your interest rate?" And for all those out there listening, it's an important question. I don't want to take away from the importance of what an interest rate is, but it's the wrong question to ask, in my opinion, to start out with. There's a lot of different ingredients that go into interest rates, and to pick a lender solely based off of interest rates, you're leaving yourself very vulnerable to other things that might be, it might be the lowest rate, but are they the highest closing costs? Closing costs, interest rates, loan product, credit score, down payment amount, type of house that you're buying, owner occupancy versus investment property, multifamily versus condos, that all of the things that I just mentioned have a play in what your interest rate is going to be. When you're determining who you're going to move forward with as a lender, it's really important to not lose sight of all the other attributes that are important, like customer service, availability, turnaround times, product, variety of loan products, experience in the local market, communication, teamwork with the real estate agent. There's a full board of other very important things that I would say are just as important as the interest rate. And you need to consider those as well, just like you're considering the interest rate. And that's not to say go get the highest interest rate or just deal with the highest interest rate, because you shouldn't. That's not smart buying to begin with. But it's also important to figure out these other questions, the answers to these other questions, before you can just dive into an interest rate. Another important point is that you can't lock in an interest rate until you find a house if you're buying a house. It's much easier to talk about it when you're refinancing, because you already own the house and you know where you stand currently, and what available rates are there, so that way I can benefit my situation. So refinances are a little bit easier of a conversation when it comes to interest rate and getting the immediate rate. But when it comes to purchases, you have to shop and you have to spend some time in the marketplace and checking out other houses. And some people take a couple months to buy a house, years even, and interest rates change every day. They can go up, they can go down. And if you ask a lender right off the rip what their interest rate is, and they give you a really attractive interest rate quote right off the top, that loan officer knows that that rate is bogus, because there's no way that that person's going to make a phone call, ask what the rate is, find a house, get an offer accepted, all within the same day. There's just way too much to do there. So you need to get prepared with the pre-approval letter, and you need to figure out what your budget is, and you need to figure out how to make your application as strong as possible with the time that's allowed before you buy a house. So that way, when you do ask when it is the appropriate time to ask what the interest rate, you have the best shot at getting the best deal of what you're looking for.